All right, people, we're live. Shout out everyone that's gonna watch this. Probably no one. There's a slight rebrand on this. We're gonna go Bobby After Dark. Yeah, BAD. Bad. Michael Jackson, Smooth Criminal. If anyone knows, if you know, you know. The bad uh, music video by Michael Jackson. Yeah. We're not talking about the Neverland stuff. Nah, 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 nah. Nah. Strictly the music. And it's at the Hoyt Schermerhorn ACEG stop in Brooklyn. Um, if anyone knows, they know. You've seen the video. You can see it clearly. Um, yeah, so we're going Bobby After Dark. BAD. Bad. Ow! Smooth Criminal. Yeah, we're doing it. And the whole world has to answer right now just to tell me once again who's bad. So we're gonna land it tonight. I'm in the mood. I'm in the mood like Sublime. I'm in the mood. Get ready. Yeah, we're gonna land it. We're gonna land it tonight because a lot of things are happening. So let's just get straight into it. Um, everyone, check out the Drax Life. My boy Chris Corvo, yours truly on the channel. Give that a like and then subscribe. Things are happening. Many more things are happening content wise on that channel that are going to come out in the future. But for here, we're gonna make this like a late night hang, like late night talk show. So if you're here, if you want to do this, if you want it to be, let me make sure because I have no, it's all me. I don't have a producer ID. Let's see if the sound is all right. Hold on. I hope everyone just heard what I said. Yeah, I think we're good. All right. So, two things, three big things happened tonight. SmackDown. Let's talk about SmackDown. Um, tonight, so the Royal Rumble is tomorrow for anyone that's a wrestling fan. And if you're not a wrestling fan, I'm going to tell you right now, you're missing out because it's the best form of entertainment in the world. And I'll have any conversation with any person about that. I'll have every single, it's not a debate because that's one thing we'll get into later where everything has to be me versus you. No, I'm going to tell you why. If you're going to watch entertainment television, scripted, why wrestling is the best way. So, Royal Rumbles tomorrow. Excuse me. And um the New York Rangers made a big trade today. Let's get into that first. We're gonna land it tonight. Like I said, I'm in the mood. We traded. First of all, I haven't watched a single Rangers game because of James Dolan and MSG Corporation. Yeah, and I know for a fact. I'll look in the video scope and I know for a fact. Yeah, that they're manipulating the fan base for you know what I'm saying? They're doing it. We have one trophy in 84 years. Unacceptable. But they know what they're doing. Financially, yes, they're clever. But don't let them treat you as puppets. So the fan base and the Rangers are part of the problem. We traded JT Miller. We traded for JT Miller, excuse me. We gave up Heedle, Mancini, and a first round pick. So Victor Mancini is probably the right way to pronounce it if in Italian. Um, why does all these New York teams have this infatuation with Italian Americans? Just because your name is Mancini, you can be shit at hockey, and everyone. It's the same thing as Tommy DeVito. Look at Tommy DeVito with the Giants. Look at Big Dom with the Eagles. Name me anyone in the chat or in the comments. Name me another security guy from any sports team in the world that you know his name. Oh, but he is an Eagles head with an Italian flag on it. Fuck off, man. And no disrespect to Italian Americans. That's not what this is about. But why is there this fan obsession with them? Look at what the Giants did with Tommy DeVito. That's it. That case closed. The debate, argument, court case won. How is this man being lauded up as some kind of good player? And then you got people with pinstripe suits and hats and on the sidelines. Like, what is this? Like, what? Someone explain this to me. Oh, wait a minute. I think it's all PR. It's all PR from the ownership, which we will get into later as well. So we traded Heedle, who I will miss. He's going to be a good player. He's going to be a good player. Mancini. Sorry. Mancini. Nah. No loss at all. He's nothing. That's a nothing. First round pick. If we actually make the playoffs, it'll be good. Like I said, I haven't watched a game, but I know Zibanejad has been shit. And I wonder why. Maybe he's not that as good as you think he is. How about that? And shout out, I know I do have sauces in the Ranger organization. And I'm not saying this as a flex. People talk to me about it. And I'm telling them I want no affiliation with this team, with this organization anymore until they get fucking serious. There's a certain reporter, and the ones that know will know who this person is. Talks to me a lot about the and wants, just not because I'm going to give them untold information, but because they want to take the temperature of the fan base. So, but I won't be a brown envelope. I'm not going to be a brown envelope. Never. I'm going to always tell the truth. And I could tell you right now, I've had enough with MSG Corporation and James Dolan. I've had enough of them. I've had enough. They've single-handedly ruined that stadium in both of those franchises. Sorry, I don't know why I keep coughing, but maybe it's because I'm getting so worked up. Yeah, that's why we're rocking the Stony tonight. Always badge in. When the badge is in, we're landing it. So, I'll both franchises that play at MSG, I can tell you this for a fact, right? And no one is going to believe this. They're going to be like, "Oh, he's just whatever." Watch in 2 years. what I say comes out and be like, "Oh, he was right the whole time," just like I said with Cronky and Sports Entertainment. Just like I said with Cronky and Sports Entertainment, and that's the first thing on the list that we're gonna talk about today. It's not Stan Kroenke, 'cause when I scroll through X and I see, "Oh, Stan Kroenke out, Stan Kroenke." It's not Stan Kroenke, it's Kroenke in Sports Entertainment. Stan Kroenke stepped down because we protested against him in 2016 when Leicester won the title. And shout out to the Leicester boys. Great fan base. Nothing against Leicester. Yeah, big up the Foxes. But Stan Kroenke has nothing to do with Arsenal anymore. So why are you coming for Stan Kroenke? It's Josh Kroenke and it's Kroenke in Sports Entertainment. That's the problem at Arsenal. It's not Edu. Edu left. He left. Vinay left. What are we doing here? What are we doing? It's the same thing as MSG. Jeff Gordon left. John Davidson left. Well, they got dismissed because of James Dolan, the wrongin. And that was Chris Drury. And big, I would credit Chris Drury because he's getting rid of Truba was a great move. That man being the captain, was an embarrassment. That's just ridiculous. Sorry, I had to adjust this camera. Dude. Yes. So that's number one. It's not Stan Kroenke. Stop coming for Stan Kroenke. He has no idea what's going on with Arsenal. I promise you that. I know this factually. It's Josh and it's Kroenke Sports and Entertainment as a corporation, and it's the social media team that are using the fan channels to manipulate the fan base. We've needed a striker for 5 years and we haven't signed one. Jesus, not a striker. He has no knees anymore, so he's done. Still we haven't signed a single. Yeah, we're supposed to be going. You're going to tell me we're going for the Premier League and the Champions League, and we're not going to sign one player in January. Not one. When we have 10 injuries, you're not going to sign one player. Fuck off, man. Fuck off. So, yeah, don't go. Stan Kroenke, as much as of a problem that he used to be, he has no involvement of. So why is that trending? Why is it trending? Low hanging fruit. These people are dumb. The fan base is so ridiculous. The problem is KSE and Arteta. Those are the two biggest problems. And the fan base. Those are the three biggest problems at Arsenal. And with the Rangers, biggest problem is not, yes, Laviolette, he's not the best coach. I never wanted him. We should have kept Knobloch. And I've said this, and I have the receipts. We should have hired Knobloch. Look what he's doing with the Edmonton Oilers. Almost won the Stanley Cup, one game away, came back from 3-0 down. But no, you gotta have a retread. Always. We're gonna expose some people tonight. We're gonna expose them. And the problem with the Rangers is not the coaching staff. It's not the players. Yes, they play a part in it. It's upstairs. It's James Dolan and it's MSG Corporation. As long I've said this on this channel already, as long as they own the Knicks and the Rangers, there will never be a trophy lifted. Never. It's sad. It's sad. But that's the truth. Because they don't give a shit about winning. They just want revenue, revenue. It's all about monetizing content and maximizing profit. That's all they care about. They don't give a shit. And the fan base feed into it. Look at the Ranger. You got celebrities. You got the Hadid sisters at the Rangers game. I don't give a shit who's at the game. I really don't give a fuck who's there. I want to see this. That's what I want to see. I don't give a fuck who's at the game. Oh, there's cool celebrities at the game. Fuck you. Dude. This is not what it's about. Elite athletic competition is about winning the trophy. Dude. I don't care who's at the game. But they know that the majority of the fan base will touch themselves because there's a celebrity at the game. Jesus Christ. It's that the Knicks are even worse. I'm not even going to talk about the Knicks, dude. The amount of just Sydney Sweeney is at the Knicks game. Who fucking cares? Why do you care about that? Real talk, as a fan, why do you care that she's at the game? Answer me. I want to understand why. It's brutal. It's brutal. Dude. So as long as James Dolan knows that, and MSG knows that they can make the out of he's not gonna. It's nothing's gonna change. But we have the power to change. The positive thing that I'm gonna say, and people will they'll call me negative and toxic. I'm not. I'm telling you, you have the power to change this. We need to make our voice heard, and you should just walk out of the. Don't pay $15,000 for court seats. How about that? You're just it's like you're like a drug addict. That's what it is. You're an addict. I'm gonna pay, or you have your PR team saying, "Oh hey, it'll be cool if you showed up at the Knicks game. They'll show you on the jumbotron." Fuck you. I've had enough of this shit. I want to see silverware in the cabinet, and I want to see armpits. I want to see the armpits in the air. That's that's what I want to see at the end of the season. Then you could do everything you want. You can have your reality shows. You can have the children and the wives and the husbands. And then there and all these like documentaries and cool. I'm not against that. Have fun. Give me the goddamn trophy first. Give it to me. Then you can go do whatever you want. Same thing with Arsenal. Like people are just sucking off all these players. Martin Odegaard is not that good. He's not that good. And people were like, "Oh, in the transfer window, how about that? The PR from Arsenal, we're gonna sign the next Odegaard, another Norwegian. He's 16. What is this obsession with 16-year-olds? Shit is mad zesty, dude. Like I don't understand why people are just infatuated with teenagers. And specifically as an Arsenal, to speak for Arsenal, Lewis Skelly and Ethan Nwari. I hope I'm pronouncing it correct. I think it's Nwari. Shout out my Nigerian G's. Always respect. Uh, why Nwari? Yeah, I think that's the right way to pronounce it. But I could be wrong though. But anyway, yeah, I am a stickler for getting pronunciation right. So let me know. Why are we getting infatuated with like, oh, he's 17, he's so good, he's 18, he's so good. How about we just get good players and we let their kids, their teenagers, let them develop, and then we just get good players. I don't care if you're 20 years old. I don't care if you're 45 years old. If you're good and effective, I want you in the squad. But why? Because sports now has become a modeling agency and a fashion house and a clothing designer brand. So we got to have young, attractive people that I can't stand this shit, dude. And that's what they're banking on. And the fan base feeds into it. So it's all, you see what I'm saying? It's all intertwined. And these private equity owners feed upon that. But the fan base also does it to themselves and the players too, because they just want to be celebrities. They don't care about winning. This shit's crazy, man. All right, so let's move on. Like, I'm gonna get fucking pissed off. Let's talk about wrestling for a little bit. Royal Rumble. Uh, Pat McAfee. It's in Indianapolis. Pat McAfee has done a lot for WWE and reaching a new audience, which it already. I mean, the audience was already global, but I think Pat McAfee mm, um, cemented it. Is the right word into now like all Americans, everyone in Canada, they already loved wrestling, but Pat McAfee did a good. I want to respect to him. He did do a lot in cementing wrestling as the best form of entertainment. And I've said this. I said this on the initial episode 0. Wrestling is the best form of entertainment, hands down. And anyone who disrespects wrestling, you're dumb. I'll say it to your face. I'll look into the video scope right now and say you're dumb. You're stupid because it has everything that every other form of entertainment has, and it's all around, and it's live, and it's every single week. There's no off season. It's every Monday, every Friday, and monthly every Saturday, and it's live television, so anything can happen. The best, bar like it's not even close, not even remotely close. And then we have the Punk Owens segment on SmackDown tonight was good. Pat McAfee, like let me finish the Pat McAfee thing. He's done a lot to bring wrestling to a different audience, which is, and McAfee's influence has been so big that Stephanie McMahon now is going to have a show on ESPN about just like the backstories of the wrestlers and their person, so you get to know more about their personal lives and shit like that. So Stephanie McMahon in a couple of months, I think it starts in March, she's going to have a show where she does some like funky, the wacky adventure with a wrestler, but during the time they're hanging out, so she's talking to them, having a conversation, and you're gonna get to learn about their backstory and personal life, which is cool. So she's yeah, I think Reigns, Flair, like all of them already. I think it's already been filmed. It just needs to be produced and edited. So they, you're just gonna learn more about the personal life of the wrestler while they do something like something cool, like skydiving or something like that. Like they're gonna do a cool activity, and then Stephanie is gonna like talk to them about. And people think Stephanie left the company. She didn't leave the company. Stephanie is involved. I'll tell you that for a fact too. Stephanie is not out of WWE. And people in the comments I read really like, oh, she's not. She quit. I don't want to watch this. She quit 2 months ago. Nah, she didn't quit. She's involved. She never was never. She was never not involved. Rangers trade, yeah. I don't want to talk. Speaking of ESPN, um, she knows who she is. Shout out. She might watch this actually. She might watch this. Cool. One of the best journos in the game. Yeah. And she doesn't have to give me the time of day. I'm nobody. I'm a loser. I have I just have a couple of connections. That's it. But she always shows love, and I respect that. So salute. She's cool. She'll know who she is. All right. All right. So now let's go the next for like just like the next 20 minutes. Let's go into Bill Maher. I'm getting worked up, people. Yeah. If we go more into the Rangers, I think. Oh, all right. Before we move on, I think it's a good trade because for one, I like JT Miller coming on like the revenge tour, and he's going to be he's going to be extremely motivated. And we had him. He used to be a Ranger, but we traded him. Inside story. He was younger though, but he was like me. He was he was in his 20s, early 20s. He's doing a lot of partying. Right? It's New York. It happens. And I'm not excusing it, but I'm saying he likes himself a party. That's the best way I can put it. So we traded him. He lit it up in Tampa Bay, won a Stanley Cup. Oh, did he? Did he win a cup? Did he win the first cup before they did the back to back? No, I don't think he did it. I think they traded him. Wow. No, I don't think he did. Yeah, well, let's take a look. Actually, that's a good. That's a good call. T. Miller. I don't think he did. No, he did. Did he? What's this league index? Come on, man. Just give me the give me the stats. No, he didn't. I was right. He didn't. Sorry. Sorry everyone. He didn't. He they traded him the year before they won the back-to-back cups. Wow. so he hasn't. I like that even better now. There, he's gonna. It, this man is motivated. He's pissed off. I know how he feels. He's angry. I like the trade. Heal. He's he's fragile. He's an excellent player. Don't get me wrong, but he's very fragile. Um, if he gets hit the wrong way, his career is going to be over. And I'm not saying that. I'm not trying to be derogatory, but it's just facts. He's he's very fragile. And Miller is nasty, but Hedo's sick too. I'm not knocking him. Great player. He's a great player, and he has big time star potential. And the other pieces we got, you'll never see them. They're just throwaways. And Mancini, like I said, it's like Tommy DeVito. Victor Mancini is Tommy DeVito. He doesn't matter. He only matters because he played in New York and he's an Italian American. He's not good. I'm telling you right now. It's no loss at all. Thankfully, we kept Wolverine. We kept Lindgren. Way better to keep the Mancini. I don't know how he likes to pronounce his name. Mancini. In Italian, it's Mancini. But so yeah, that's the end of that. I think the Rangers. I think that's a good trade. I think ultimately it's going to work out better for the Rangers than Vancouver because JT it's that old cliche. Always get the best player in the trade, and JT Miller is nasty. 100-point center, easy. I'll take it. And he's pissed off, and he has a chip on his shoulder, and he has a point to prove. What are we doing here? I like it. But we did give up significant value. Like Keto was really good. All right, so let's go into real time. So Bill Maher, my guy, salute Bill Maher. The monologue was one of and the reason why I paused is that was one of the best monologues I've seen Bill Maher have in a while, and I'm an avid fan of Real Time with Bill Maher. That's a great monologue. It was hilarious, and even the one-on-one guest, Peggy Noonan, said she liked it. And I didn't know, like, back in the day, she was on Politically Incorrect, Bill Maher's original show on ABC that got canceled. Because he said some things about New York City. We'll leave it at that. Everyone knows what he said. He's the reason why I love Bill Maher is he's honest about everything. Bill Maher is completely honest about everything. How he feels, what he thinks. So in the 1v1 with Peggy Noonan, who wrote a book, I believe, they talked about the plane crash and her voting. Yeah, that plane crash, we can talk about that for a little bit. I don't know how I feel about that, man. It's very interesting because everyone is getting into the political side of it. Is it DEI? Is it a bad hire? Is it nah? I go deeper than that. We're gonna land it right now. We're talking, is this a tactic? And I feel bad for the people who passed away. Rest well. Rest well. That's unfair to them. Oh yeah, they're just patently unfair. That they Potentially, this is where the part comes in. They were used as pawns as some kind of distracting tactic. Distraction tactic by yeah, man, it's almost midnight, people. I can't speak. The distraction tactic by the government. Who knows? Who knows? But I'm not saying that to belittle their contribution to the world. I'm not, of course not. So that was it. They did get into it. I'm not going to ruin it for anyone because you should go watch that episode. It's one of the best episodes of real time that I've seen in a while. Yeah, we got the note card. Um, and then it said, "Oh yeah, there's another thing she brought up is life is always." I think this is a good point that she made. Life is always better outside of America. Um, people, especially Americans, or I would say anyone in North America. So you can include Canada and in that. I think Mexicans know more of the hardship than I'm not saying Canadians and Americans don't have hardship. They do, big time. But a lot of Americans don't realize how different it is outside of America. So something like TikTok is a big deal here, but people in other continents, they don't give a flying fuck about that. They don't even know what it is. They legit don't know what it is. And that's what she kind of alluded to that. I like that point. And she was saying, "I- you can complain about Trump and his executive orders and all that, but we're in universally in the grand scheme of things, that's not the worst thing. I don't want to get political on this channel. I should move on. See, we get Max Brooks and Dan Jones on the panel. But yeah, but we got to do the real time reaction. So it's gonna get political for only for a small portion of the show. And they were talking about the perception of unfairness. That's what I wrote down. It's true. It's kind of tied into what I just said earlier. People think life is unfair living in this country in America, but they don't they don't realize what it's like in other countries. It's if you think living in San Diego, California is unfair, try living in somewhere like um Venezuela. See what that's like. You get me. You know what I'm saying? You get me. So uh, I'm not saying once again, I'm not saying the hardships of the people in America. Yes, true, fact, but a little bit of middle ground perception is necessary. And then they talk about yeah, a kind of good segue by me, unbeknownst to me. Everything, yeah, I think Dan Jones, who's from England, the he said everything is in America is 0 1 binary. So it's either all or nothing. So when you're talking about anything, any kind of issue, political, medical, sports wise, everything is all this way, media, Everything is all 100% this way or 100% that way. There's no one has a middle ground. It's all binary. It's 0 1. And that's a good way to describe what how polarized America is. Yeah, triangular, like Clinton. Remember, they talk about the Clinton Blair era, and once again, like I don't know politics. It's over the head. Um, I know people like my brother would know way more about this than me. He's the sensei. He's the political sensei because he's way smarter and more knowledgeable. Um, you, they said that Clinton and Blair era was more of like a middle ground, and they kind of swam through the gray areas, which is better instead of just being black and white. Instead of being the cookie, they massage the gray area, which is fair. Weaponizing, I wrote weaponizing the private sector. Ooh, and not on the battlefield. All right, so this is more of like war, like warmongering, where instead of actual tanks and missiles and guns, now the way to attack other people that you don't like or is to manipulate the private sector and to control social media and the news outlets. That's how you do it because you get into their brain. It's more mind control. It's not just physical battles. And they talked about that. That was a good conversation. And yeah, I agree with that. I think China, especially with TikTok, and if you listen to the Drex Life, you know that with TikTok, they're more concerned with how to manipulate the emotions and the feelings and the mental thought process of Americans than they are with I'm gonna go one on one because they know, and I've said this from a year ago, more receipts. I told you if China tries to battle us on the field in the field like Game of Thrones style. If we're gonna do Battle of the Bastards, yeah, like if we're just gonna go just face to face, let's just see who fucking wins. We would destroy most countries in this world, almost everyone, because we have the best. I mean, we sunk a lot of money into it, but we have the best military in the world. The only way that someone can beat America is with dark arts tactics, like we're talking about, like manipulation, um, trying to distract people with social media and video. That's the only way. That's the only way. Because if it's just like a football game, if it's 11v11, and football, I mean real football, not fucking NFL, which is bought and paid for. That's another episode we'll get into. We'll land it there too, because the NFL is just a 4 hour long commercial. And not the athletes. I'm not disrespecting the athletes. I'm talking about the executives and the broadcasting and the commercials. That part. The athletes, respect to the athletes. Will beat. If imagine Russia trying to invade. This is going to be controversial. This is why I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk about this on the show. Nah, this is not the show for it. Um, but we'll smash most people. We'll just batter them. Cold battle over digital interference. Yeah, that's what I wrote down. So it's a battle. It's basically there is a Cold War going on, and it's all digital. That's true. That I agree with. And then I wrote the Grammys. There's a lot of great. They did a bit. Bill Maher did a bit about the Grammys. That was funny because the Grammy Awards went from actual giving awards to the actual good artists. Then it got a little political for a while, but now it's back to like the best musicians get the award now, and producers and engineers and all that. Because that's the thing I want to say about um, music. It's not just the person singing the song or rapping. It's about the production, the engineer, the mixers, the editors. It has way more to do with I think those people contribute more than the person that's just on the micro that just walks into a sound booth, says a couple words, and then leaves. We talked about this before on the Trex Life as well. And then they got into English history versus Irish history. That English people are really descendants of the Germanic tribes. Yeah, so Bill Maher knows his history. He's right. And that's another thing. History is a very important part of um, intelligence because you have to know, and I've said this before, with something like now the ceasefire is going down, um, which is good. Like I don't want any. You're never against anyone losing their life. Of course, I'm backing everything. I'm backing everything possible to make it peaceful. But you got to realize that if you are trying to comment on this, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're a millionaire pundit on television. You can go fucking do one. Yeah. If you don't know the history of Judaism and Islam, then you shouldn't be talking about it. Facts. You shouldn't be talking. Your opinion doesn't mean anything if you don't know the history of both of these ancient cult, not just religions but cultures too. You don't know. Don't talk about it if you don't know about the history because it's boring. What you're saying is so wrong because you don't understand what it means. Now, the people that do have a sense of that, fair enough, fair play. I'll listen to them, but I ain't listening to anyone. I'm not listening to some MSNBC stooge or some Fox News, either side, Fox News stooge that's saying, oh, chatting absolute shit when he doesn't know any of the history of both of these, these people. Gotta get out of here, man. Fuck off. You gotta know the history. That's why history is important. Because it matters. It's in the genetics, it's in the DNA. All right. I think what's the last thing I want to say? I've been saying some crazy shit tonight, people. Fuck off. New rules, the broken government. Yeah, this is we'll end it here. The new rules, the editorial was about how the government is broken with the lobbyists and the shutdowns and all that. Yeah, but I've been saying this for so long, man. I don't even know shit. I don't know dick about politics. How am I getting this right? That's another thing. How am I getting this right? It's crazy. And the country is broken because, yeah, we're polarized, and it's I already spoke about that. So we're polarized. The government Yeah, we're not gonna do politics. So like I don't even know. It's hard, but it's hard not to because I love real time and I want to do real time reactions. So, but that is check out Bill Maher's editorial on between people on all issues, and um, it's not just healthcare or economics or immigration or inflation. It's not just that. It's just everyday life. There's a huge rift, and he said the country is broken. And he has a good point. He has a good point. All right, so we're gonna end it there. I know I've been rambling. I'll go rant again. We might do another one. I didn't even get into Cronky sports entertainment, but we'll end it on that. We'll end it. We'll end it on that. And MSG Corporation, get your shit together because I'm onto you and I won't stop. I don't care if I have 1 view, 0 views, 1 million views. I don't give a fuck. We're going to tell the truth here. Yeah. Yeah. You got me. Same thing with the Crunkies. And it's not just Stan. Don't blame Stan. I can't believe I'm actually defending him. It's not just him. It's the whole fucking um, firm. It's all of them. So on that note, big up everyone who watches. We're out. Bobby After Dark, BAD, Bad, Michael Jackson, Hoyt Skirmahorn, Let's Go. Ow! Smooth criminal, but in the good way. Later.